It's been a spell, hasn't it? Okay, let's catch up. So I'm currently in the process of training for a half Ironman. So as part of the build-up for this half Ironman, I thought I would enter 3 triathlons, the third of which will be the half Ironman. So starting today, I'm doing a Woking sprint triathlon, which is a 400 meter swim, a 20-ish K bike and a 5K run. Then on the 7th of June, I'm doing an Olympic distance triathlon, which is a 1500 meter swim, a 40K bike and a 10K run. And then that builds up to the Cotswold Classic on July the 13th, which is a 1.9K swim, a 90K bike, and a half marathon or a 21.2K run at the end of it. So, quick catch up. The last vlog about running was in 2023, so a couple of years ago. After the Kempton Park Marathon, I sort of semi-trained, and in the end I went back to Abingdon, where I'd had that cramp in 2022. I did finish the Abingdon Marathon. I came in about a time of about, I think it was 3 hours and 57 minutes. So it probably wasn't what I was capable of, but I did finish and had a great day. And I sort of felt I put that beast to bed a little bit in terms of finishing a marathon. Unfortunately, just before I did that marathon, I suffered a small injury. My peroneal tendons in my right foot, which have been giving me issues all year, I kind of basically gave them a bit more of a strain. That was about 10 days before the Abingdon Marathon. I then ran the Abingdon Marathon on that injury, and it was pretty sore straight afterwards. I knew I had to take a little break. But basically that injury then developed and basically... At one point I had a stress fracture, then I had a consultation, turned out to be the peroneal tendinopathy. I had my foot in a boot for a while. The long and short of it, I had a good 8 or 9 months off complete running, which is quite hard to deal with. I felt I needed to do something to keep active for my mental health as much as anything else. So I went back to the pool. When I was a youngster, I used to swim for a club, so swimming was kind of in my background. I got some form goggles, which are amazing because they provide workouts for you, because I just find ploughing up and down the pool really boring. So Form, I'm not sponsored by them at all, but they are fantastic. And if you, the subscription is probably worth getting as well, and it just provides you with workouts, and I've kind of followed a few of their programs. The first one was simply to get my form better, but I've kind of I've rediscovered a love of swimming. Got a new bike as well in 2024, and also invested in a Ruvi, an online subscription, so I was able to keep fit through swimming and cycling. I did the Guildford Triathlon in July 2024. That was fun. The pool swim I actually did really well. I actually won my age category, and the bike was I'm still sort of fairly new to that, but I did okay. I think I was about 10th in my age category. And then the run, I kind of walked run, and it was a traily run, and my feet, my peroneal tendons were definitely not ready for running again. So I think my 5K run time was almost about the same time as my 20K bike, so it was really slow. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Then started to get fit again through sort of combination of swimming, cycling and getting my running back up, and I thought I would make 2025 all about triathlon. I thought I'd have a goal that scares me, and my Achilles heel, I think, has always been endurance events that go on longer than say an hour and a half. My body is not well adapted for long endurance events. It's a long time for me to be alone with my thoughts, so I suffer all the mental demons, and also my body burns carbohydrates. It's not brilliant at fat burning, which is what you need for a long event. So a half Ironman is going to take me in the region of somewhere around 6 hours, so that is a long distance event for me, so it's going to be a challenge. I'm sort of a complete novice really. I don't have a lot of the gear, but I've used kind of the 2-2-2 method, sort of found from a few YouTubers. So that's 2 bikes, 2 swims and 2 runs a week. You should also try and do 2 strength sessions, and I have been better this year at doing strength sessions. I've certainly averaged like 1 a week. It should really be 2, but realistically it's been 1. That's about all I can fit in on top of my work and family life, both of which take up a large amount of my time for good reason. As I say, the swim, I've been following a Form Goggles program, so it's easy to follow. My local pool is also a 50-meter pool. With the bike, I tend to do 1 session a week indoor on Ruvi, a combination of sort of threshold workouts, really, just improving your threshold. And then I usually do a long ride at the weekend. For me, out of the bike, swim and run, The bike is definitely the one I have least experience on, which is a shame, because with a triathlon, particularly the longer distance you get, the bike makes up the greatest proportion of the event. Building up from about 40-50k to working towards kind of 90k. I did manage 110k the other weekend. I rode to Winchester and back with some friends from my running club. And some of those guys are into triathlon as well. Two of them are training for Ironman Roth. They're very experienced Ironman triathletes. And then there's a girl who's training for the Swansea 70.3, which is the same day as the Cotswold Classic. She's also a very experienced cyclist as well. So I'm very much out of my depth with those guys. And so it's great to train with people who are more experienced than you. And for the run, I've actually managed to get more like 3 runs in a week. So I'll do like an easy run sometimes after the swim. Then I'll manage a threshold or a VO2 max session, and then a long run on the weekend. I've kind of got back to running around half marathon distance for my long runs, which is great. So that adds up to a sort of about 6-7 hours a week, which is quite a lot of time when you work sort of 55-60 hours a week as a teacher, and you've got a family life on top of that. But that's the minimum people sort of say you need for a half Ironman, so 6 to 7 hours a week. So to Woking Sprint Triathlon. So I'm quite excited. It's the first event I've done since last year's Guildford Triathlon. I've not really done any specific training for today. I've just tapered down slightly. I've done like I did 2 swims this week and 1 bike, and then a club run, so nothing major. So my goals for today are very much to firstly, primarily to have fun and make sure I sort of enjoy it and be grateful for getting back to being able to do I suppose competitive sport for a first time in a long time, what feels like a long time indeed. Swim wise, for 400 meters, somewhere between 6:30 and 7 minutes. For the 20k bike, I've got more of a process goal of trying to sort of average around 30k per hour. 30k per hour on the bike. I've also got aero bars fitted on the bike for the first time. I only had them fitted last week, so I am going to try and use them during the event. So that'll be good practice for me too. So if I can spend like up to a couple of kilometers on the aero bars, that would be a result. Running off the bike is like a whole new sport. I've done a few brick runs, and the first kilometer, literally your legs feel like they are dead pieces of meat. I don't know what it feels like for anybody else, but you can't feel your feet, and that usually happens to me for like the first kilometer, and then gradually I get the blood back in, and it's kind of, then it's okay. The quickest I've run a 5k in coming back from the injury is sub 22 minutes, which is sort of 2.5 minutes slower than my PB of 19:26. Today it would be great to go under 24 minutes for the run. If I could manage sub 23, I would be blown away. Fueling wise, it's a sprint triathlon. I'm not really worrying about too much fuel, so I've just got some electrolyte that I'm going to drink on the bike. I have like half a gel, which I will probably try and stuff in my mouth at some point. I'm hoping the entire event won't take me more than sort of an hour and 15. Apologies for the lack of race footage. Just me this morning. My family's obviously not going to get out of bed on a Sunday morning at 5:30 to come down necessarily. I'll put in what I can and hope to have some actual footage of me doing some things moving forward. Anyway, I'll feed back after the race. That was so much fun. Maybe I'll put my cap on the other way around so I can talk to you. Oh, credit to Ben Parks for the hat, by the way. Love it. First time I've ever worn it, and worked really well today. Yeah, the swim was fun. I think I swam about 6:22 in the end, so slightly faster than I was hoping for, which is brilliant. Not quite sure what average pace that is. I'll put that up on the screen. It was great. They set us off in groups of 4, so we just made sure that the fastest of us was at the front, so we didn't have to catch anybody up. Hard work though. Got out onto the bike, and there was a dead zone, but overall, the average pace of the bike was fantastic. I think I finished the bike in about 38 minutes, and that included that dead zone slower section. So really happy with the overall bike time. Definitely averaged over 30 kilometers an hour the whole time. So yeah, so happy with that. The run, again, I think that's probably the fastest 5k I've done this year. My watch hit 5k at about 21:40. ish. I'm not sure what my overall actual 5k time was. I'll put that again up on the screen, but certainly it was under 23 minutes, which is what I was kind of hoping for. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic event. Overall time was about 1:13. So really good first experience of kind of putting it all together. One key word for improvement for next time, and that is transitions. Transitions, the fourth discipline of triathlon. My transitions are pretty shocking. I didn't do any of the tips that people say, like I didn't put elastic on my shoes, cycle shoes. I didn't even put elastic laces in my running shoes. So again, I had to sit down and tie them up as well. So my transition times probably cost me a good couple of minutes overall. I wasn't that fast, if I'm honest. If I start to get vaguely competitive, I will do, but for this time I just wanted to just be comfortable. So yeah, it was good. Pretty much flat out, as much as I could do. Certainly felt very tired at the end of the 5k run. Probably could have gone slightly deeper, but not a lot deeper. Overall it was about managing quite a high effort all the way through. So yeah, until the next one, that was a really fun event. Working triathlon, done, dusted. Step one in my steps towards an Ironman 70.3. And what was it? My motto was, oh yeah, you're only racing yourself.